Hey, hi, hello, YouTube or Patreon. I don't know which one I'm gonna put this on, or maybe both, who knows. But it's your boy DeviDubz, and we are back with another video. In this video, I will be reacting or watching, reviewing Normani'S interview with Zane. I think it was the Apple Music interview. I think that's what it's called. I'm not really sure, but it's the interview that she recently did after she released her song, Fair, which I'm obsessed with. If y'all been streaming Fair, stream it harder. If you ain't bought it yet, bought it now. And then she also gave us a live performance of the song shortly after the release. So she's been feeding us. She's giving us an era. She's promoting. Yeah, she's going full out. So here's that interview right now. If I end up putting this on YouTube, y'all know the drill. Like, subscribe, share with your friends, all that good stuff. I might just put the full thing on Patreon and then do the cut, edited version for YouTube. I don't know yet. Here we go with Normani'S interview.
Didn't I text you 6 different ways of telling you how great this song was? Did you text me back? Nope.
No, that was it! Wait!
Now he played
oh
the
my
little
god, you just
explosion.
really blessed. No!
That was terrible!
Did I really not?
Nope.
He put her on blast and then played the blast sound effect.
This record is another layer of who I am and my experiences, and I feel like, you know, I grew up in the public eye, so it's been very, very scary.
Complicated.
And very complicated, and a sense of forcing myself into this idea of like perfection to protect myself, you know?
Yeah.
But this is the first time that I'm just like free falling in a sense.
We can tell.
And it's scary, but
Free falling innocence. Wow, Normani, way to get me to drop a bomb that early in our conversation. That's crazy.
Yeah, this is me being vulnerable and really captures a true and raw point in my experience that I wanted to share.
Then it was definitely worth the wait.
Yes.
To me, what's so beautiful about this song, apart from what you're saying and how you're saying it, is the loving care that your collaborators and you put around this song. It's a safety blanket.
Yes, yes. And what makes it so special, like I was saying, it captured me in the moment as I was experiencing.
How in the
in
moment?
real time.
Like real time.
Yes.
Like as you were doing this, it was happening at the same time.
Yes. Like I was going through it emotionally that day I wasn't sure if I could even really pick myself up to go to the studio, but ended up, and this was the result. So.
Thank God.
Could you even listen to it on the way home, the monitor mix, or was it too raw?
Too raw.
Too raw.
Yeah.
So how long before you could accept this song as something that is a...
It's crazy how, like, artists give us stuff, and normally, for the most part, speaking on me personally, you don't think about, in that moment when you're listening, you don't think about, like, what they had to go through to write whatever it is that they wrote, or produce whatever it is that they produce, to give to us. She's just now releasing this song. She teased a snippet of it 3 months ago, back in January. But like, when she started writing it, who knows how long ago that was, but she was going through heartache, heartbreak, and was strong enough to write still, go and get up and get in the studio, you know, share with her collaborators. Like, I know that that's gotta be hard to do. If you're writing about something that's so personal to you and very sad, I'm pretty sure it's hard to be like, okay, we're working on this song together, this is what I'm going through. Like, I know that has to be difficult, because before you even give it to the public, you got to give it to people that you're working with. You got to give it to your team, and then you got to go a step further and then make it public for everybody to listen to. So she's had this for a while. She sat with this for a while. So the fact that she was strong enough to, in that moment of pain, get all the way to here where we can enjoy this, not enjoy her pain, but enjoy the music that came from it, that's amazing. It's a blessing. I'm talking too much already.
The value in not just an emotional experience.
I think now.
Wow.
Honestly.
Well, I'm very privileged then to have you in our esteemed spot, for you to come to that conclusion. I mean...
And it's therapy for me. Like, as much as it is for everyone else, it's for me. Putting this record out, I didn't know that it was going to be for me, too.
It's such a powerful song. And you're right. You could have come back in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
You know, we know that you are, you know, more than a triple threat. You can, you can move and sing and write and perform, and you have all the hallmarks of a true superstar. But this is an area, if you don't mind me saying, and because I think we're already there, that you probably hadn't gone to.
Ever.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why it's so scary, you know?
Yeah, the
Like,
best
I
ones
feel
always
like-
are.
Exactly. And I definitely know that. I posted something on my Instagram the other day just talking about people might feel like they don't know that much about me, but that's just what makes me feel safe.
You have an
And
idea.
you know what? I'm pausing it again because I'm slowly getting hot, heated, upset at the people who had the audacity to call this song boring. Like, you know how much of a slap in the face that is when somebody bears it all for the first time. Like, she's a new artist solo-wise. I know people don't like to think that because she's been in the game for such a long time, but she's still new as a solo artist. Still finding her footing. And I feel like it's such a huge slap in the face to be like, you just gave us your most vulnerable piece of art yet, but it's boring. Some people just have no, like, sympathy or empathy, whichever one makes more sense here. Like, it's crazy and so disrespectful. Like, I would never do that.
Identity before we get to know you.
Mm-hmm.
How much you choose to reveal of that is your choice.
Right.
Especially when you're coming from a place where choice isn't the first choice. When you're in a group and you come from a place where it's like, hey, this is your dream, this is your opportunity, we're going to provide you with it, but you got to work, you got to be on call, you got to this. I'm not throwing shade at the system. We all
Right.
know it exists. It's been around for decades.
Yeah.
But the point is that freedom of choice is not your first choice. It's someone else's.
Exactly. And being 15 years old and not being able to be a traditional 15-year-old, like, teenager, to make mistakes without getting, like, reprimanded, it really, I think, took a toll on me in a large way, I guess, having that experience so early. And I think that I look up and I'm like, damn, you're not even, like, freeing yourself to just be. Like, you have such a tight grip, and not because I want to,
You're holding
but
on
because
tight.
I've always had to,
Yeah, you're having to hold on tight.
which is a disservice to me and
Ultimately to us.
right,
Because we're not getting the real you
right.
until now. And yet, we all love
Y'all, I'm
you.
gonna try not to
I
cry.
love you. And that's
try.
the not so scary part. It's like, okay. You did it once, you could do it again.
do it
And you
again.
could do it again, and you could do it again, and you're still alive, and you're still blessed, and your fans love you. And I'm really, really proud of myself, too.
She should be.
I get, like, emotional because,
Oh, fuck.
like, I wasn't supposed to be the one in this position.
Why do you say that?
Because I always felt like that.
That's a place of self-reflection that can do you in unless you find a way to leave it behind.
Mm-hmm.
She should have never had to feel like that.
Thank God you stayed with music to do that, because that's the quickest and most effective way through the work for you to be able to redefine who you are. to
Damn, I
yourself.
just said I
It
wasn't gonna
sounds
cry. And then she...
so good.
Thank you. No, that's like, I say that that's like one of my best just pieces.
I feel like it's the start of a whole new.
That's not fair.
Breakthrough.
No pun intended.
It's
this
a
was
breakthrough.
a breakthrough.
That's
for
what.
sure.
That's why I
For
reached
her
out
to
yesterday,
ever
because I
have
was
to
trying to
feel
put
like
that
that.
into words. I was trying to say, like, this is something I wasn't expecting. I guess I gotta ask you, like, how many times did it take you? What that day was like? What that experience was like? It's rare that I talk to an artist who is processing and performing in real time.
It's tricky because it's so triggering, you know, and every time I listen to this song,
Yeah, it's rough.
it just takes me back
Mm.
to a very specific moment. And in a sense, it's reliving it all over again, but it's more important for me to be able to share and let my fans and anybody else that is going through the same experience that I too feel the same. I'm literally no different.
Music unifies us through that
Exactly.
deep emotional experience. It
Exactly.
resonates. That's why we feel it. I mean,
And it's so rare. Like, I'm so critical on myself too. I'm sure that everybody knows that. I'm super, super critical. So for me to like, I'm like, I love this song. I love this record, but that too, like I said, is because it's one of the deepest parts of me.
Where do you think that sense of those high standards comes from?
I think from just always not feeling seen or heard, or like my ideas or abilities were like valid. I guess it's just this idea of perfection is really my way of just like fighting to at least be acknowledged, you know?
It's something you feel you can control.
Right.
I got this.
Yes.
I got this work ethic. I got this.
Right.
I got these high standards. I got this.
Right.
Waiting for everyone else to catch up.
Which is like also damaging.
Can drive you crazy.
And it has.
The truth is, Normani, I have these conversations and I feel so privileged to be involved in anything like this where I get to better understand the artistic spirit, something I'm deeply passionate about, obviously. You could just do away with all of this if the other thing is right. And if the other thing is right, this thing will be so much better. Does that make sense?
It does, yeah.
And you feel that? Do you feel you understand that a little more now, that there's a separation between how you see yourself versus how everyone else sees you?
Just now coming to that realization.
Yeah, huge.
Yeah. And I've enjoyed the process so much more, even just like creatively. And I think that it's trusting that what's for me is for me and nobody can take it away. And also, people love me, you know? And trusting that that's enough.
No one can take it away. I gotta drop one. That's huge.
Gotta drop one.
That's big. If
What's his accent? Australian?
Look at these moments that we have ongoing. There are kids out there and artists out there that can take moments and I see them do it and add it to the sort of playbook that kind of unofficially continues to be built. And there's all kinds of chapters that artists have written that help and whatever, and there's quotes and comments, and you're one of those artists that kids look to and will go, okay, like, her journey's unique, it's required a huge amount of work and commitment, how's she doing it? And I think that's an important point. No one can take it away. I think there's this built-in sense of vulnerability and fear that you have to earn your seat at the table, and that you have to do things in order to stay there, even if you don't want to. And you know, you're allowed to say no, right? And you're allowed to take your time, and you're allowed to get to know yourself before we get to know the next part of you. These are all things that people forget because they feel like time is ticking.
Experiences that I've actually had to go through in life that I had to live in order, like I said, to make the best music. Because, I mean, during Motivation, which I'm sure is when everybody was probably expecting, this is the time, like now. I had just come off of the group and nobody ever asked us what we wanted to talk about. Nobody ever asked us what type of music we wanted to create. Records were given to us, and we were told who to be. So I never had the opportunity to even
Recalibrate,
be able to
basically.
get to know myself in that way. And like I said, 15 versus 25, like, I needed to go through some stuff to give the most authentic version of myself.
It's such an inspiring story, and the cadence, if you look back on it now through all the tough times, is kind of perfect. Like, you know, we're getting an album for real now.
Yes.
Imagine if you tried to rush that because, you know, Motivation was motivating and all these things were getting behind you in a way that were just not this.
I can't wait for you to hear the next record.
My
Like, you're like, what world are we in? She's already talking about another record.
Well, I don't.
It's the fact that she got one lined up already. We really getting Normani solo debut. Yeah,
because it's normally me that's
Yeah.
like, can I hear the rest of it? Like, I'm super excited, and I know fans will want to know. We can come back to the song in a second, but they'll want you to be able to give whatever meaningful update you can around an album, because, you know, I think it's safe to say that through this process, everyone's stuck with you and is excited to hear the real you.
And that's what I'm so grateful to
Real
God
fans
for.
waited.
Like, as long as my fans have waited, they're still so eager. Like, they ride for me, and that doesn't go unnoticed. Like, I see them. I see how they fight for me, how they stand up for me, how they defend me, and it's really the best music that I've made thus far.
Was there a moment, do you think, when the dust had
makes me feel
settled
so
and
good.
you'd proven something to yourself after you left the group and you proved that there was a place for you on your own terms, even if you hadn't really learned enough about yourself to commit to a full body of work? Was there a time when you questioned whether or not this was actually the world for you? Like, because the entertainment business is like, man,
It's
especially when
brutal.
you're young, it fills a lot of gaps in your sense of self-worth, I think. It's like, attention, yay, you're really good, yay.
No, I had to check myself, to be honest. I think it was me and James Blake. We were having a conversation and we were just talking about just validation, and like, I've never been one to need, but you get used to it. And when you don't, then it's like, okay, maybe this isn't, like,
Well,
it doesn't feel as important.
Normani, especially as a teenager, when you're searching for validation through your social group, but your social group becomes massive, it becomes a professional group and an industry and fans and all of us, and your validation just shifts from being normal of like 4 or 5 people on a Friday night going to have dinner or someone's house to being like, I'm trying to get validation on a massive scale here in order to progress.
I'm practicing gratitude too,
And
like,
it's a practice.
because it's so easy to say and look at what everybody else is doing and what you're not,
Yeah, FOMO's the worst.
And then you're constantly chasing after the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. Like, motivation, I totally missed it. I promised myself with Wallside that I wouldn't, and I promised to be so present.
I have to tell myself that sometimes, and I'm nowhere near on the same level of pressure that artists like yourself and your peers are at. But I'll find myself going to something that really means something to me. And I have to remind myself, like, come on, man. 3.5 years ago, you did that. It's cool. Like, you did that. Or sometimes I even put my validation in people I really admire. Psst, that person thinks you're great.
Right.
So it's cool. Like, you can do this.
It's dangerous.
Can be.
It's very, very dangerous.
Can be. But it's a practice because we all still do it. I still do it. Like, it's man, none of us, there is no arriving.
It's about the journey.
There's no arriving. It doesn't happen.
And giving myself grace and allowing myself to go through the process, but also have room to grow. I'm like, I want to do everything. Like, everything has to be all the time now.
Have fun
But
too.
I've never experienced what it was like to be a new artist for me.
The thing is that this song, and that's why, again, I jumped into my phone when I heard this. This song is that. This is like timeless. This is like a timeless modern R&B record. Like, you would put this on that playlist. You would put that on that playlist that has Janet and some of those Jam and Lewis.
It's funny that he says that because when I hear this song, I think of the song Full Moon by Brandy. There's a few similarities between those two songs. Like, I get Brandy vibes from this song. And somebody actually commented that under my reaction video. Actually, this person commented that under every single fair reaction video, because I watched a few people's reactions, and you see that same person. Normani definitely studied the vocal Bible. Brandy, like, okay, we get it, but they're not lying, because I do hear the Brandy influence in this song, which makes it timeless. Like, he's not lying when he said that this song is timeless. You can put it with the old heads R&B, you can put it with the current R&B, like, it fits wherever you put it.
Moments and the perfect sort of Mary moment, and you put the song on there because they went deep, and I can't really put it any other way except I just feel like whatever you've unlocked, it's allowed you to write this song kind of ultimately, and maybe this is where this ends, kind of just deads all the other stuff. It's like all the other that we used to talk about and get hooked up on, and when we first met it was like, oh, the fifth harmony to solo artist thing, and we all had to have that conversation, but it's like, it's kind of done. It doesn't fair just kind of dead it.
That means a lot.
Don't you think? I do.
Thank you. That, like, I needed to hear that.
I want to give a little bit of time, if we can, because I love the process, to your collaborators and the people, because the picture that we've painted in this conversation is that stakes are high when you walk in the room,
Always.
And so to find people that you trust is not going to be easy. You're not a speed date writing kind of person. It's not like you got a 3 p.m., a 5 p.m., and a 9 p.m., you know? So who did you choose to work with on this and why?
I worked with Harv.
Of course you
He
did.
was like he's a genius.
Yeah, man.
He really, really is just different.
Tasteful.
And tasteful.
200 days and counting, and you're my favorite still.
Still.
Brutal!
Yeah.
We spend too
Yeah,
much
okay,
time
yeah.
looking at the overall of art, and we don't spend enough time hyper-focusing on the detail. That is a brutal opening line.
You could tell this was written by all female, right?
Oh, yeah. So how was it written?
Me, it was Abby, and it was also Felicia, which is Harv's wife. She's a beast as well, and we really just poured our hearts out to each other, and we really all went through the same experience, so it was a lot easier for the lyrics to just come out.
Here's the thing about heartache. If you're lucky, and I say this over and over again, if you're lucky in your life, you'll experience it. Don't be
He got
afraid
his
of
nose
it. It's
on the
part of
microphone.
life, right? You'll get through it, and it will lead you to the place you need to be in if you're open, right? But no one ever wants to put a timestamp on heartbreak. All you get told is, you'll get through it. You'll get through it. You'll get through it. You'll get through it.
But for how long?
How long? 200
long?
days? And if someone said to you at the beginning of that process, not to get too close to it, but if someone said to you, who you really love, your dad, you know, your best friend, someone close to you said, Normani'S, in 200 days, you're still going to feel the same, you'd be like, I'm done.
Be like,
That. That.
oh my God.
It's so amazing, this song.
Thank you.
Didn't I text you 6 different ways of telling you how great this song was? Did you text me back? Nope.
No, that was it! Wait! Oh my God, you just put me on blast. No!
it's terrible!
Did I really not?
Nope.
No, why was I just talking to somebody about this yesterday? They were like, you need to own it.
I knew what you were doing. You were in another interview. You were like, oh, Zane's being cute about my song. So anyway, yeah, what I was...
It was actually one of the best parts of my day, in case you were wondering. No, it was.
That song's going to help a lot
It
of people.
cures. No,
So what worked for you is going to work for everybody else.
that's all I wanted.
You did it.
That's it.
All right, we just got done watching Normani'S interview. She's grown so much. I'm not even gonna talk a lot because I feel like I said everything that I need to say in the video and in my fair reaction, the live performance. Go watch that. And the song reaction, if you haven't watched those yet, go watch them both. She's finally being who she wants to be. And it was well worth the wait. Like, so completely worth the wait. And like I said, her real fans stuck by her. And we here. Album 1, coming this year. I think she said it was coming in this year. I could be wrong. But she got like another song lined up to be released as a single. I wonder how many. And we still got a music video for this song. She in her bag. She coming through. Juggernaut. Anyways, I hope y'all enjoyed this video. YouTube or Patreon, wherever I end up putting this. Watch my other videos. If this is on YouTube, like, subscribe, share with your friends, social medias. Click that notification bell so you're notified when I post more videos. And if this is Patreon, thanks for being a subscriber. I love you. And stick around. Watch some more content. Thank y'all so much for watching. I will catch y'all in the next one. Peace.